Hi everybody, congratulations on reaching week 10. This week we'll look at the uses of big data, we'll study data quality, we'll look again at descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, semantic analytics, and then we're completely done. Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you. Quick review of key concepts from the course. It's not going to cover everything, but some of the key takeaways that we'd like you to take with you. Basically, we want to look at the uses of big data and some slides around that. We're going to talk a little bit about data quality again. We want to discuss descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, and close out with semantic analytics. So let's go all the way back to the definition of big data. And the definition that we like to use, it says, it's data whose scale, diversity, and complexity require new architecture, techniques, algorithms, and analytics to manage it and extract value and hidden knowledge from it. So was mentioned in that definition was scale. It's on a scale and size heretofore never seen in the history of mankind. Every year, more data is being generated than the entire history of mankind in the year before. So we're even inventing new terms to define these massive amounts of data. So again, we're talking about an exponential increase in collected and generated data because so many different things are generating this data every day. The complexity of the data is another aspect. That is, it's in so many different formats and types and structures. In talking about that, it could be structured or unstructured. It could be large images, video files. It could be streaming data, which we see everywhere. So it's very complex and not in one single form or in one place. So another key characteristic of data is the velocity. It's being generated faster than ever before. It's online. It's real time. And here's some examples, e-promotions and healthcare monitoring. These things are massive amounts of data that are being generated and collected every second. Illustration of the 3 V's, volume, velocity, and variety, and some of the applications such as enterprise resource planning, CRM, web, and also big data. Some say that there's a 4th V, which is veracity, which says that because the data is in so many different formats and places and original intended uses, it may create uncertainty about how it's used or analyzed and what conclusions may be brought from it. So historically, OLTP or online transaction processing, which was in the original database management systems, in the 60s and early 70s. Then OLAP, which everyone's heard of, is BI or online analytical processing. Then RTAP, which is real-time analytics processing, is something from the big data realm, which is really, really recent in the last 10, 15. So the sources and generators of data are quite diverse, but really the growth of social media, instrumentation that does data collection of all kinds, mobile devices which we all carry, and sensors that are out there detecting things like even your home security, all generate data and publish it into the cloud and other places. So the model of generating and consuming data has vastly changed from the old days when only companies, with large IT resources, mainframes and things like that, were generating all the data, and basically you took that data and then other people consumed it. In the new model, everybody's generating data and consuming it as well at every point. Data in the past, we talked about business intelligence. Today, we're talking about predictive analytics and data mining. Large volumes of data, much more real time, and the value and insights derived are much greater than ever before. Again, the volume is the reason it's called big is because the volume is bigger than ever and continue to grow. So there is a large challenge in handling big data, not just because of the size, but as we've talked about previously, there's only now a responsive set of software that deals with these things. There's a shortage of analytical skill people out there to be able to digest it. Generally speaking, there are many constraints on how this information or data, is used. The skills required is a convergence or an overlapping of operations research, forecasting, statistics, BI, and data mining. A lot of overlap in terms of the techniques, but you do need to know what you're doing in order to make the appropriate value from big data. So the platforms associated with big data are somewhat familiar names, hardware and software providers that are building systems and supporting them. From IBM, who we all know about, Amazon Web Services is a relatively recent but very large and influential player, and you can see the rest there clustered around the most current offerings and strongest strategy. Is very important, and here are 8 different characteristics that are necessary. Throw into that the diversity of formats and locations of data and original purposes. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to make sure that any analysis and insights derived from today's data analytics takes into account all these different attributes and even more. So first, descriptive statistics, or analytics, I should say, is just describes the main features of organized data or organizational data. It comes out, you can even use Excel. It's looking at the mean mode and just generally describe the data statistically. Predictive analytics is just as it says. It's using past data, looking at patterns to be able to determine the future. Prescriptive business analytics also looks future focused, or is future focused, but it allows some scenario planning to be able to determine between alternatives what is the best action and what will happen if we try different changes. Finally, the highest analytics is semantic, where we're actually looking at the meaning of analytics, specifically text analytics, and deriving things like new uses for current medicines, or looking through the literature to see if there's different things associated with things that had not been determined before in vast free text, unstructured data from journals, and even quantitative data from experimentation. So analytics is evolving in new and unbelievably amazing ways, and it's an area that's fraught with opportunity for all. That concludes our review. I hope you've enjoyed the class, enjoyed learning with you, and appreciate your time and effort.